Hello guys and welcome back to Tuesday's vlog, beginning of a new week. Gonna do just a quick intro, but had a bit of a crap weekend actually. Not in regards to family time and stuff, but in regards to cars. If you remember at the end of the video last week on Friday, I mentioned obviously that Astra sold. I took on a new car, happy days, and like I've mentioned, I said my Accord was for sale. So again guys, if any of you are interested, please just head to my Facebook page, send us a message. My phone number's on the description side of YouTube. Just give us a call or a text on that number. Like I've mentioned, it's a pay-as-you-go phone, so it's not always on. I won't always be able to answer it. But anyways, one of my good customers come into the garage, actually a good customer, and his Fiesta, a couple of months ago, the subframe snapped on it. He must have hit something and it tore the wishbone arm off and everything. And he was just after a cheap car for under £1,000. And I didn't. My dad mentioned to him, he's an old guy in his 70s. My dad mentioned to him, look, Dan's got this nice Accord for sale. It'd be perfect for what he needs. Because he had a little diesel Fiesta and it was choking it up. It had a DPF and everything. He had nothing but problems with it. So this being a petrol, under £1,000, tidy car, and as you have seen underneath, it is absolutely solid. I've put some pictures on my Facebook page. It is unbelievable. I can't believe it. Even the jacking points that go on these are still silver, not somebody's painted silver. They haven't even got surface rust on them. Perfect car. Anyways, cut the chase. He said he wants the car, everything, no problem. My dad picked him up. He come to my house, looked round the car, didn't even want to drive it, said I want it, no problem. He says, obviously, can you run us back to mine in Ash? It's a good 3 mile. I said, no problem. He says, you drive, no problem. So I drove across to his, dropped the car off. My dad picked us up, deal done. I just said on Saturday, because as you know, I ain't had the car long. The logbook came on Saturday morning. So obviously at that point I had all my adverts up. I had 2 people very interested in it who actually wanted to travel for it, who obviously I told them it had sold. Saturday late evening kind of thing, I went down to his with the logbook, and he was due to come in on Tuesday, today, and pays for it. So anyways, I went to his door Saturday. It was quite late on Saturday, like 6-7 o'clock. And I says, here's the logbook, not mentioning names. Then he just handed us the keys. He said, I don't want it. Says you what? I says, you don't want it. He says, we shook our hands. I said, we've done a deal. I said, I've cancelled my insurance. I've emptied all my stuff out of it. I've told people I don't want it. I'd spent money putting it on. It was on eBay and a few other places which I'd paid money for that I couldn't get. I deleted all the adverts. Stupidly, had deleted the flipping text and everything. And so I said, it doesn't work like that, mate. I says, you've bought the car. You've shook my hand. I said, you can't just hand us back the keys. I says, it's yours. Oh, no, I don't want it. The insurance is going to be too expensive. I can't. And he says, and the tax is $200. I said, I told you. I said, I already told you. Because his Fiesta was £30 tax. I told him. I said, the insurance for this will be near enough £300, about 280 or something like that. I said, so I told you about the tax. I said, so I'm not really interested in hearing that bit. But I said, the insurance says, have you priced around? He doesn't have internet and stuff. Oh, my son has. I goes, wait. I said, I'm not being funny, Les, but I said, that was, you said you wanted the car. I don't pay insurance at the garage. Yeah, I just have the MID. I just put it on or off. Whether it's a cheap car, expensive car, I put it on. But I know for a fact, the old fella here, Joe had loads of these Hondas and Rover 600s, which these are based on. And they're not that expensive insurance. Absolutely ridiculous. I think his son had come round, give it some yap, and made him somehow change his mind or something like that. But he's totally shot himself in the foot, because now I've washed my hands with him. So if he brings another car in here and it's a bag of shit, I'll just tell him you bought a bag of shit. And to be quite honest, I've already told my dad. I says, if he comes back in the garage, he's an old fella, so I didn't get nasty with him. Out of respect, I just took the keys off him and walked away, basically. Walked away while my partner had actually gone with the kids up to McDonald's to get all an ice cream. And she was due to come back to pick me up. And I just told her, I says, just chuck mine in the bin. I says, forget it. Because I was actually still out with the kids at that time. Because I come back from a day out. So, so not good. And at that same moment, my ex-partner sent me a text message because they were due to my son had been on holiday in Turkey, saying that they've had to do an emergency what do you call it? Wasn't a landing, it was an emergency dive because of the compression in the cabin. The oxygen levels, one of the seals on the doors had malfunctioned, and they had to basically kind of do a rapid, I think that's what they call a rapid descent, because obviously the oxygen had dropped, the masks went, so obviously I was panicking then in case we all know about what ex-partners. I wasn't so much panicking about her, I was panicking about my son as well, with him being just young, if it's frightened him for life of flying, because that's not a nice experience when the oxygen masks drop and you start descending, and he has got sore ears actually because of it. But anyways, I seen him yesterday and he's happy as anything. When I was that age, I probably would have thought it was a big video game, seeing all the emergency vehicles probably when you come to... I don't know where they had to stay the night somewhere. So that ended off being not a bad thing, but at the time it added to the situation. So yeah, guys, just quickly, because there's not a massive amount I can show you today, so just quickly, what's your opinions on this? Now, remember, this guy is a friend as well. I usually go to the club on a Friday occasionally with my parents. And this guy's always at the club. He's a very good customer. He spent a lot of money with that Fiesta with me. He's not a bad guy. He's a really lovely bloke. Maybe he's just older and getting himself a bit confused, but he asked us. He said he wanted the car. Nobody twisted his arm. But I'm left myself in a position now because the two people I got back to have already found cars. Genuinely, they actually did. And I've had to sit there on that Friday evening, retyping up all the adverts, because I stupidly deleted the text, reposting them all, and you know how long that takes. And he's never even so much as given us some money, some beer, anything. Just handed back the keys as if it was like he had borrowed it. Really paid me off. What's your opinion on that? What would you have done? How would you have felt about that? I personally think it's an absolute kick in the balls, to be quite honest, from a friend. Really, really shit move to make on somebody, which this isn't the end of it. I'm not going to have an argument, but I will be having words in a certain way, shape or form. I don't know how, but I will let my kind of feelings known, but without being nasty, because I'm not that kind of guy. I wouldn't start having a go at an older fella, but sometimes just because you're older doesn't make you immune to doing things like that, really. So anyways, forget that now. We're on to a few little developments at the garage, actually. Well, actually, that's round. Obviously, you know I am selling a few of my cars because I haven't got space. Now, I just want to quickly show you around here of my work, like my area. This isn't ours as in we don't own it, but we have free use of it because we maintain it. So we've got all this here, big field at the back. I've got all that. It tucks around the back of that wall. You see where my little ZX is. We can use that, and then that's into the yard, which is years of old seen. I just want to show you this fence. Obviously, that house is sold, so one of our friends has put this fence up, not for us, for the landlord, because people were thinking all this land was going to be theirs who bought the house, which it isn't. So that's been nicely boarded off with no gate or nothing, which makes it nice now and nice, and you'll all be thinking, this is lovely, Dan, you could park loads of cars here and stuff. But unfortunately, that could easily be hopped over, but it's great. This hedge, you couldn't, but unfortunately into the school grounds here, this wall is easy to jump over, and it's in direct line with where the kids mess around, and down there's like an alley, like a driveway, which them gates are usually left open, and this bit of wall at the other side, like there, is quite low. But the main issue we've got is this wall on the path here. Obviously that's easy to jump over, and the gate itself, you can see it stops vehicles coming in, but not much else. So it would be great, I could have all my cars parked here, around the back here. But the problem being is the kids. No adults would come in and bother it. No thieves as such would try. The gate's locked, so to speak. They wouldn't be bringing in cars, but it's the kids. And unfortunately, even though we've got that fencing down there is going to stop a lot of through traffic, because people, what we're doing, that's like the main road where that gate is. Not the gate, the main road is like there, and people were just cutting through their driveway and in, and cutting through and actually coming over there and down and into there. And what it does is it saves you having to walk all the way around. Most people don't do any harm whatsoever, but you guys must think I'm mental having all this space and panicking and worrying about where to park my cars. But if I park my cars anywhere on this grass, they will get vandalised by kids, mischievous kids. But at the same time, if it's not mischievous kids, the scrap men, it's a really rough area down here, believe it or not, it actually is. The scrap men would be in cutting the cats off them and everything, so it's just really annoying. Not many people have all this disposable space to their own free use like I do, and I can't use none of it. Literally scrap cars and that's it, that's all you can leave out here. So it's just such a shame that I can't. Even my caravan to store it here would be great, but they'd be straight away smashing their way into it. So that really does pee me off, to be quite honest, but nothing we can do. Right, now, I just want to alter things up a bit there. Just wanted to show you a few developments that's happened in the garage. That fence has just been put up. So what's in? Of course, like I've mentioned, they're getting all the fence work done at my house at the minute across the road, and they're on with them cutting saws, I think, today, so that's something I've got to deal with. So naturally, I'm keeping that out the way because we're at the show on Friday on this. There's a one on at Durham, I forget its name. It's in Durham Centre, so if any of you are coming along, I'll let you know. So I'll be taking this ZX, so I'm keeping it here out the way of any cutting dust at home until they've finished doing what they're doing with the fence. We've got this C4 in for MOT. Gonna have to have a look at this bumper because it is, I've actually just fixed it there, sticking out a bit. We'll give that a once over, and this has got the awful Prince engine in it, the 1600 petrol. Be very, very careful if you're ever buying a Citroen or a Peugeot or a Mini with the 1600 in, because they absolutely drink the oil. Timing chains go, that just very bad. To be honest, if you see one of these going cheap and it's the 1600 petrol, be suspicious, and you will have major engine issues. Like I've said, the little ZX there, I think what I might do when I get 5 minutes with this today, like I was telling you, I've got the original Citroen Peugeot oil filters, the blue ones. I'm going to stick that on. The oil is clean, it'll just need slightly topped up just to make it look a bit better for going to the show, with an original Citroen Peugeot blue period correct filter on the engine in case I decide to have the bonnet open, along with probably washing it near the end of the week just to get the dust off. So that's that. Into the garage, we've got a fabulous little car in the day. It's nothing special, but it's such a good car. Both me and my dad agree. Yeah, the Jeep as well. Like I've said, that's been kept out the way from being at home as well, because I've just polished it and I don't want the dust on it. But this little thing, little i10, it's fantastic. It's a little 1.2 automatic and it drives lovely, and these things are really good underneath if you coat them. We've coated this one a few times from new. We probably could do with getting the whole lot done if we were keeping it actually. But you can see, apart from the odd little crusty bits, that actually they keep really good. But the automatic in this though, I just want to point out, it's your proper old Slushmatic gearbox. It is fantastic. It's exactly what you want. You don't want anything of these kind of ones where they've got the like the the dual clutch systems on them, because they just wear out and they're just totally pointless. So yeah, obviously lovely old-fashioned gearbox in this. On this, you would think a 1.2 engine it would be gutless, but it is brilliant. I would highly recommend an automatic Hyundai i10. And do you know what it is? At the minute, they're worth a lot of money, so no, I wouldn't have one. But when these become a bit cheaper, like what the Hyundai gets and the Kia Picanto kind of value, I'll tell you what, I'd have one of these, and if they stand up to the rust okay, not a bad car. And I've drove this car separate to my dad, and he said exactly the same thing as I said last year, or whenever it was 6 months ago, that it drives just nice. And I'll just show you later on when it's down off the lift. I think, are you putting wax oil on it, are you? Oh, see me dad. I thought he was going to start doing wax oiling, but he's not. We've got a wasp's nest over there, and he's bravely done the short straw, because I ain't, going up there to spray some of the wasp stuff in there. I would put this on the video, it might be funny, but I'm keeping well out the way when all them start coming out in an angry mood. So yeah, that's the i10. Basically what this has been in for is an oil and filter change, air filter, and it's in for MOT. But if you notice, the oil filter is missing because I don't know why. It's correct on the invoice, but they've given me a Honda one. See, it's a W610-6, so they've done the wrong one on the invoice as well, where this one is actually a W, it's a -7 basically, 610-7, that's a -6 for Honda. So again, always remember, naturally you guys as well, even at home, if you're ordering your own parts in, don't just order them and you get like a delivery of bits like this and bang them on your car. And then always check the filter you put on last year, that it corresponds to that. It doesn't always mean that one's right, mind, but always check. Don't ever go into a place and go, oh, they've checked it on all the special sites and the dealer sites. Always do your own bit of checking before putting it on, because you could, especially with oil filters, knock your engine up completely. So yeah, I'll leave that for now. I'll bring the i10 down and show you a bit around the interior and under the bonnet. Meanwhile, my dad's away with the ladders up there, so I'm saying I'm going to keep back. I'll probably give him a hand in case he falls off the ladders, but I'll only be holding on to the ladders until all them angry wasps start coming out, and then I'm away. I am away. I have a bit of a phobia when it comes to wasps. I'm not bad with bees and flies, but I hate wasps. So I've got to go. I'll have to give him a hand. I'll get back to you shortly when we're on with this. Oh, and we have got a caddy van in for service later on this afternoon. I'll do a quick run through with that. Right, so that's the C4 in. As usual, like I said with these engines, they absolutely drink oil. And I only checked this a couple of weeks ago, and you can see it's right at the bottom. They're just horrendous for burning oil, obviously getting low oil and the timing chains rattle. Just be very, very careful of this, what you call the Prince engine. Very careful, and avoid if you can, at all possible, avoid. So yeah, it's in. I'm going to do a check. If I find anything unusual, I'll add it into this week's vlog. If it's just the average, I'll leave it, because I've already kind of done a long intro on this video. I'm not expecting to find much because it was checked over not long ago, so it's just topping up the level. And by the way, for an MOT, it's just MOT. For the MOT, checking the oil is part of the MOT. The only thing I will say is if it's below the minimum, it's a fail. In fairness, this is just slightly above, but I'm taking in my common sense to this approach, because I know this lasts wants to keep the oil topped up on it, and if I was to pass it through the day like that, within a week or so, she'll be right down into the dangerous levels where she's going to cause damage. So yeah, we're topping it up. She doesn't mind. We've got the customer's permission. New alternator fitted not long ago on that. So yeah, that's it. I remember when these were brand new, my mum got one in, it was a 55 plate, I think, 55, 2005. Doesn't seem like a click of a finger since these were brand new, and now they're just old cars. So yeah, they weren't bad actually, in fairness. Horrendous to work on, and the springs often go. I quite like the funky interior even from when they were new. It's okay to this day. I quite like the way the wheel moves around the centre. But yeah, years gone by. Doesn't feel like 2 seconds since I used to sit in the car as a brand spanking new car. Still had the new car smell. So yeah, I'll just quickly move on to this Hyundai. This is the little i10. I thought I'd show you. It's off the lift. But just your nice, straightforward, easy to work on engine. So you got your air filter here, a couple of clips, plugs under that. There's a new battery on this one, unless it's original. I doubt the RAC one would be original. And there's your automatic gearbox with your little old school dipstick. It's lovely. Just nice and easy to work on. Little 1200 engine, old fashioned gearbox. Lovely. And it does actually drive an absolute treat, I will say. It's even Tiptronic as well. You can move it through the gears manually. Probably just a 5-speed one. But, you know, ice cold air conditioning, just all you need if you just want a car to get you from A to B. No thrills. Thumbs up. Honestly, thumbs up. If you want a little car, the Hyundai i10, or what do the Kia call their version? I think it's the Picanto. Nothing wrong with these whatsoever. And I would highly recommend the automatic at that. I really would. I think I would actually purposely pick the automatic if I have to have one of these, especially for city driving. And on a long drive, these things can bomb along at motorway speeds, no bother. So yeah, we'll leave that here. That I'm just going to leave, unless something that's absolutely catastrophic with the C4. And I'll quickly put the caddy van in later and go through that. So I'll catch you soon. Right, the final update of Tuesday's vlog. Just thought I'd show you what we've been on with. It's been too busy to film. Got the caddy in. This is my partner's dad's. He's just in for a full service basically, because it does a lot of miles, local miles as well, so it's the type of stuff that does choke your engine up. So it's had the fuel filter done, oil and filter done, air filter, and I've got the pollen filter there, which I'm going to do when it's off the lift, because that's near the glove box area inside. Like I said, you've seen that Skoda in the other day. This is your Euro 5. Not too complex, but getting there along. Actually, no, this is probably Euro 6 actually, with AdBlue. It's got the old AdBlue on it, which isn't good. Nasty stuff. You can see where it goes. It's all been spilt down there. Awful. So yeah, that's been done. I've just had it up on the lift. It's in good nick. I think it's quite a new van, this, like a 16 or something like that. What do they call them? I don't know what spec it is, all fancy names, but this has got the Sportline alloys, which look quite good. These come in all sorts of powers, ranging from ridiculous this is the 2 litre TDI. They come out from everything from a 75 brake up to 130 or 140, and they're all exactly the same from the factory. So this got remapped to the 140 a couple of years ago. So just a little tip, if you own one of these, back in the day, like I've mentioned to you, different powers, you would have better injectors, bigger intakes, bigger turbos, blah, blah, blah. On these newer stuff, it's just one engine plopped in whatever you spec from the factory is what it gets. So if you want to pay the extra for the 140 brake, you'll pay the extra. And all they do in the factory is basically just remap it. So with these, what you can get done is the EGR switched off, you can get them remapped to the 140, which is perfectly safe for them, well within safe working tolerances, because they actually make the 140. You can actually get a lot more than that, but I personally think 140 is the perfect map for these. You can get the AdBlue switched off as well, EGR switched off. This van had a speed limiter, I think it was like 68 mile an hour. It's had that deactivated, so yeah, it's nice. It's an alright spec one as well, apart from cruise control would be nice. It's got the nicest touchscreen. It's not sat nav, it's some kind of just like a better quality radio and nice ice cold air conditioning, which is always nice to have. So yeah, I'm not going to do a great deal on this. It's due rear discs and pads in 2 or 3 months time, and probably just front pads, so we'll get it back in for that. The little C4, it needed a bit more work than we actually expected. This front CV boot was hanging off, so we've secured that into place. That steering gator was absolutely roving to bits. I think it's been chucked in the bin. There was nothing left of it. And the one at the other side, the tyre had come off and it was loose. So this side we've repaired with a new clip up there, and that's all that was left of the old one. I'd just been all pulled to bits and roving and everything. That's actually how it was. So we've had to buy, especially in the boots for those. So like a specific boot kit for that. So it's got a new boot at one side, retied at the other. Bar advisory on the back tyres. They're not too bad, just getting a little bit perished and becoming near the line, the 1.6 mil. But they're fine, perfectly fine for the MOT. And I'm sure I showed you, didn't I, just before? The oil. So the oil's topped up. So that's ready to go to test now. That's done. And that's it. There's a few jobs coming in later. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, the I-10, that's done. So, yeah, got a couple of jobs. Well, not jobs, but running about the night. I do it for my customers. There's a lad who watches this, S80, in tomorrow. I'm going to run him back home. So his car's here for tomorrow. And there's possibly a van coming in. The guy who I got the Civic off, actually. Depending yet. I need to work out if it's class 7. If it's class 7, we don't get involved. So I'll catch you on tomorrow's vlog on Wednesday. I would do a bit of filming the night of me running about, but there's so much going on. And I think there's somebody coming to look at the Accord, but that's up to now 2 complete time wasters. So a third, I've spoken to him on the phone, give him as much information as I can. And he's wanting to come at 8:30, so I've warned him by 8:30 I want to be sat down, be in the shower and ready to relax. But unfortunately, if he's wanting to come at 8:30, I'm going to have to probably... and I've got 2, possibly 2, definitely 1 car to run about. So I suppose of all nights tonight, I'm going to be on the go till quite late anyway. But I just wanted to speak to him on the phone to explain there's a dent in the wing, blah, blah, blah. The radio's not included, no offers, all the rest of it, so that we don't waste time. And he turns up, looks at a dent on it and goes, I don't want it. It's like, well, it's written in the advert and it's on the pictures, so what more can I do? So yeah, I'll catch you on Wednesday's vlog. Welcome back to Tuesday. I've got a spare bit of time. I may as well, like I've mentioned, I'm going to do fewer specific project videos and try and mix my project videos into the weekly vlogs. Otherwise, I'm to be honest, guys, I'm running out of time. I'm too busy at work. I've got so much going on in my personal life. I don't have time to keep... You don't understand it. Just in case a lot of you guys out there don't know, you don't just record a video like I'm doing now and then press upload. I've got to reformat it into the YouTube profile. I've got to edit it, which all takes time on a mobile phone, by the way. And then once you upload it, you've got to wait for it to upload. Then once it is uploaded, before you make it live, you've got to add tags, you've got to find a title, you've got to make the thumbnail, which is the little picture you see before doing it, which involves going on and getting a photograph, reformatting that, adding things in and all the rest of it. So this is the only reason I'm doing it. But I thought I would just show you a little bit of work on the ZX because we're going to the show this weekend. So first up, as I've said, it's got brand new oil in and a new filter. But these originally left the factory with blue Peugeot Citroen filters. Bosch do them in blue, which I prefer, purely just down to colour, which is pathetic. But I'm trying to make this a bit of a show car. So, like I've mentioned to you the other day, I bought 2 genuine Citroen Peugeot oil filters for a tenner. And as you can see, the genuine one. So I just think, because obviously when you open the bonnet, it's the first thing you see because there's nothing in the way up there. I just think it's going to look a lot nicer with the genuine Citroen Peugeot filter on. The oil is brand new, so that's not really needing to be changed. And to be quite honest, the little bit of oil that I'll take to fill that filter, there's a tiny little bit of oil here. So I'm going to stick a leak sealer in, which will recondition all the seals, which is what I want, because remember, this car's stood for quite a while. So I'm just going to put like a professional German stuff in, not that claggy stuff. And it'll just recondition all the seals. It's very, very minor. In fact, I'm going to get some solvent brake cleaner, just a little bit's getting into that alternator. I'm just going to rinse it out, just so it's nice and dry, and it'll probably be end of story with that. But as you can see, I had all these rebalanced, and the drive's spot on at speed now. And now it's got all 4 brand new Goodyear efficiency grip comforts on. That was actually the new one that went on. But they're all brand new anyway, as you can see. So, happy days. What else I'm going to do as well, it is unbelievable the condition of this car underneath. I mean, even down to, I don't even know what that is actually. That must be some kind of, like a securing thing. Somebody's fitted that, so when this drops down, it goes into, but if you look, it's already got the toolkit in, everything, which I'm normally missing. Brand new exhaust. Well, if you look at that boot floor, it's fantastic. All the subframe at the back, the suspension. So what I'm going to do is, while I've got 2 minutes free, that's just no rust whatsoever on this. The back ends of these are not normally bad. It's the front ends. Just this cross member, it is like brand new. Tiny little bit of surface rust. So all I'm going to do, I don't want to take away the originality, spraying black clag onto it. So I'm going to get some Langeguard and just give it a quick burst here, quick burst around there. A little bit along the sills, a little bit along the floor pans, on the boot floor, around these areas here, around obviously up there, just to keep all that nice and right how it needs to be, but it's perfect anyway. And just quickly, while I've got time, that's all. So I just thought I would add that in quickly. So get the filter done, spray a bit of Langeguard on, job done. It's just something I've been wanting to do for a while, but I hardly ever get the time. So yeah, I'll catch you when I've done that, and I'll show you when it's been done. I would love to record doing it when I'm spraying stuff around here. You just can't record that. Right, final part of Tuesday. I know I've probably said that twice already, but there we go. I think that looks a lot better. Genuine Citroen Peugeot oil filter. Just makes it look that bit better for going to the shows. I haven't done a full Langeguard, but I've done the majority of just around the back kind of chassis area, onto the boot floor. But the beauty with this stuff is it's clear, you can't even see it. You just see a little bit of it on there. Just the light covering around here, on the back axle, around the subframe. Amazing how all this stuff's like looks like brand new still. I've done along here, along those bits, along the corners of the sills. I've done all around the front subframe, which again is absolutely immaculate. Up on these bits, up into these bits where they normally go, around the front end. I mean, look at that. Look, that just goes into the front crash beam. It's unbelievable. So it's got a nice invisible coat, so the car looks factory, but is fully protected. I've done in all the wheel arches, as you can see. Just looks wet, basically. Cleaned them all out. Not that there was hardly anything to clean out. Up into those. Again, you can't see much. It's difficult to see it on white, but it is, I can assure you, all fully done. But all know how badly these spare wheel frames rot. Look at that. Still like new. Definitely had a good life, this car. The only problem I found with it does have a bit knock on the back end of it occasionally. And it's just this, I'll just give it a bit pull. Just this back bush. Those. So you just take that bolt out, slip them out, push new one in, bolt it on. They're only about £8 each for Delphi ones. So I've just ordered a pair of them. Obviously this side I'll have to drop the spare wheel down to get into it. But happy days, £16. And that's really the only fault it had. I just noticed that when you The wheels down, especially this one, that you can kind of, it's hard to see, but you can see how it's just detached. That should be attached to that. No big deal. Nice cheap fix, and the car will be great. They're just bump stops basically, but what you do tend to find it when you hit the odd bit of rough road, there was a bit of a clunk at the back. I knew it wasn't nothing to do with the torsion bar or the axle, because they're spot on. So happy days, got them bushes coming tomorrow. Might do them the day after, on Wednesday, Thursday, ready for the show on Saturday. The only thing I've got left to do is add this Normfest in, because naturally that filter has got to fill itself up. So I haven't actually got any 1040 oil lying about, which this engine needs. So that will probably be enough to get the oil level back to where it should be when it fills the new filter. Because like I said, I'm not changing the oil, because it's brand new Magnatech 1040 that's in it, Castrol. So that'll be enough to fill the gap, just to stop that little tiny bit of a weep. So I'll catch you on tomorrow's vlog on Wednesday. Welcome back to Wednesday's vlog. I'm going to try and keep the day's vlog relatively short, because there was a lot included in yesterday, especially the stuff I did with the ZX and stuff like that. So you'll have seen this car before. This is one of my channel subscribers, Volvo S80. At the time I was actually selling mine, / it was Simon's at the time, my S80. He seen me with, he got the information, what he was looking for this car off YouTube, and somehow managed to find me. And at the same time, the guy only lives 2 miles away from where the garage is and where I live. So that's the chances of that happening was next to nil. He had just randomly bought this Volvo, was searching like stuff for it on YouTube and that, seen my channel, and then he worked out that, hold on, I recognise that place. I pass there every day when I go to work. So you honestly couldn't make that one up. So he dropped the car after me last night, and I ran him back home. And luckily, since it's been pouring rain this morning, it means we're checking the car over this morning for MOT. It's nice and dry to work on. Speaking of that, there's a bulb at the back I'm going to do quickly, which was off. Just one of 2. It's not like a big deal. I've already showed the guy this for MOT purposes. It's not a fail, but he likes this car. As you can see, he keeps it absolutely lovely. I just spotted it last night when I got out. Obviously, you see there's 2 on the tail lamp there, and on this side there's only 1. Typical Volvos, they have all the lights running all the time, so they never last long. So I'm just going to change that for him. And if I get a quick 2 minutes, I said to him, he's got this warning light on here. The little apostrophe symbol there in the centre. I've told him it more than likely could be, because the little display on the left works sometimes and other times it doesn't, which is a common fault with these. So I've told him it probably could just be because that bulb's out. So we'll do that bulb. If that doesn't work, if I get 2 minutes, I'll just quickly put the code reader on and wipe the codes, because it might be an overdue service warning light on it, which is not uncommon again. But it's difficult because you can't see the screen, so therefore you can't see what it's telling you. More than likely, the usual Volvo fault will be the alarm service system required, which you cannot. But normally you can knock that one off from memory, so it might not be. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you around his car. Also, say thanks to him for being a loyal customer. At the end of the day, shows you how I'm actually getting customers, good customers at that mind, through the YouTube channel. You know, there's a few people who've been on to us and stuff who I'm honest, I can't take on the work that they want to do, but you know, I like to keep local people happy. And you know, at the end of the day, this guy's never been, you know, everything I've asked he does. Everything I tell him, I think I said the time belt needs done, he had that done. Bearing in mind, I'm not making money through that because we don't get involved. So, you know, he likes to keep this car spot on, and I drove this car back home yesterday, and it really is nice. These S80 D5 Autos are a very nice car. So really all this needs for MOT are the 2 back tyres, getting really badly perished in between the treads, and as well this side, the edge, there's not a great deal left on it either. It's all it's pretty much void of tread, but that is still on that lines of tread for an MOT, because that's not a testable area. That's okay. It's mainly the cracking between the tread is really bad, and he's got kids and stuff, so it's not worth having the. I think he has kids. I assume he have kids. I'm positive. I think I've seen kids, but who knows? But yeah. It's just not worth risking it on these bigger cars. They're heavy, and if you get a blowout, it ain't worth it. The only other thing we've got in, which is probably going to be a lot of work, again, a guy who I think watches my channel. If you remember when I had the Civic, I bought the Civic off this guy, and this is his van. I'll go through this in a separate video once we get them switched around. But yeah, that's the Volvo ready for test. As soon as I've done that bulb, as soon as we have the tyres done, off it goes, ready for MOT. Happy days. Well, I've had a surprise visit from the guy who, my Jeep, he used to own my Jeep, and he bought the S80 that I used to own, as well as, you already know, I've got the S80, so I had to use this opportunity to get them both together. So obviously you'll all remember my S80, and this is the one I've actually got in the day for MOT. So it's not very often you get the two of them. As you can see, 53, 52, that was a slight change, because this had the different grille. I think it's a different spec of this, because this is the SE. I'm not sure what this one is. It's when they changed a few things. Obviously the grille, the injectors are slightly different between around about 02 to 03, so that may have the different ones in. Sunroof, but bar that, not a massive amount of difference. But I just get them in. Oh yes, that's what they did as well. LED stoplights, weirdly. I don't know why just the stoplights, but on this one, the stoplights are here and they're LED. Don't know if you can see in there. Whereas on this one, they're not. You've already seen I've changed the bulbs on them. But bar that, pretty much exactly the same. And look at them though. Both cars, just no rust, nothing. Interiors, again, there'll be different colours. Just thought I'd do a bit of a comparison, because I don't often have the chance to have two of my cars together. Two of my cars, you know, two of the same cars like this. So there you go. Just thought I'd add that little bit in. It's nice to see the guy who I bought the Jeep off as well. Have a bit of catch up with him. So I'll catch you soon. So as you can see what's up with the van.